The man is already begging before you close the door. You don't react to that. You've learned over years of this work that begging is just noise like traffic, like rain. It fills the air and means nothing. You pull a chair from the corner, position it carefully, sit down, and look at him the way a mechanic looks at an engine he's been asked to dismantle. Professionally, without emotion. The job is the job. This is what Pablo pays you for. Not the violence. Anyone can do violence. He pays you for the silence inside it. You are born in 1961 in Barrio Aranjuez, northeast Medellin. The city is loud and poor and beautiful in the way desperate places sometimes are. By the time you are 11, you are already watching corners for the older boys 50 pesos, paid in coins, to whistle if police come. You do it without fear. Even then, other kids notice something about you, not toughness, something quieter than that. An absence of the thing that makes most people hesitate. That absence is the only thing that will ever truly matter about you. You are 19 when someone brings you to Pablo. He is 27, round-faced, eating a mango in a plastic chair like a man with nowhere to be. He doesn't perform power. He doesn't need to. He asks you one question whether you are afraid of dying, and when you say no, he doesn't react. He just studies your face for 4 seconds, looking for the lie. He doesn't find one. 3 weeks later, you are working for him. You are not working for him the way a driver works for him, or an accountant, or a cousin who needs a salary. You are the solution to problems that have no other solution. There is a specific weight to that role, a specific loneliness. Your first job is 1978, a distributor in Envigado who has been stealing from the supply chain. You spend 6 days learning his life, his coffee order, the chair he prefers at the cafe near his apartment, the exact time he leaves his mother's house on Thursdays. When the moment comes, it takes 11 seconds. You are back in your car before anyone on the street understands what has happened. You drive to the supermarket. You need cooking oil. The afternoon continues. Patience becomes your primary weapon. You can watch a target for 2 weeks without moving. You can sit in a car for 9 hours and feel nothing. Other men in this work are emotional. They rush, they drink, they make noise. You are the opposite of noise. This is why Pablo keeps calling you. This is why, when something truly cannot fail, your name is the one he says. You have never lost sleep over this work. Not once. Not a single night lying awake, replaying a face, questioning a decision. Other men in this life carry it differently. You've seen it in them, the drinking, the religion, the sudden generosity toward strangers, all the ways guilt tries to find a door. You have no such door. You are not proud of this. You are not ashamed of it either. It simply is what it is, the way a knife doesn't apologize for being sharp. By 1982, the Medellin cartel controls roughly 80% of cocaine entering the United States, $15 to $20 billion annually. Pablo is buying city blocks, running for Congress. His face is in newspapers. And you are invisible. That is the arrangement. He takes the light. You work in everything the light doesn't reach. Between 1982 and 1988, you carry out 19 contracts. You do not keep count for pride. You keep count the way a pilot logs hours professionally, without sentiment. Judges, a police colonel, 3 men who tried to build a rival operation in Cali. The work stays clean because you never deviate from the method. Days of observation, a single moment, immediate exit. No improvisation, no witnesses you didn't account for. Pablo calls you his insurance policy. You don't like the phrase. Insurance implies uncertainty. You have never been uncertain. Your reputation moves through Medellin the way rumors move quietly, faster than it should, growing slightly with each telling. People in certain circles know your name. They do not say it casually. There are men-connected men, dangerous men who cross the street when they see you coming. Not because you have threatened them, simply because of what they know you are capable of. You have never once had to explain yourself. Your record speaks without speaking. Valentina is born in 1983. She has her mother's eyes and her mother's laugh, and absolutely nothing of what you carry inside you, which is the only thing about your life that has ever felt like a genuine mercy. You coach her football team on Saturday mornings. You are patient with the children. You remember all their names. The other parents trust you completely. And you never find this strange because on Saturday mornings, in that specific room of your life, it is completely true. You have built your existence in sealed compartments, each one real, each one separate. The man who holds Valentina when she has nightmares, and the man who sits in a chair across from someone begging they share a body. They do not share anything else. You have never once confused them. When the Colombian state moves against Pablo in the late 1980s, the work changes. It becomes louder, more public, less surgical. Pablo's war against extradition is not subtle. It is a campaign designed to make the country ungovernable, and your role inside it expands in ways that sit differently in your chest than the earlier work did. Avianca Flight 203, November 27th, 1989. You hear the number before you see the footage. 110 dead. A Boeing 727 destroyed at 8,900 feet. Pablo wanted one specific man on that flight. That man changed his plans at the last moment. A scheduling change. That is all it was, a scheduling change. And 110 people ceased to exist because of it. You have a rule. You have always had this rule. You do not think about faces. Individual jobs have always stayed clinical precisely because of that rule. But 110 is not a face. 110 is a number that sits in a different part of you, heavier, wider, harder to contain. You say nothing about this to anyone. You will never say anything about it. But something in the arithmetic of what you do has shifted permanently, and you feel it the way you'd feel a structural crack in a wall you'd trusted your whole life. Still standing, but changed. The difference between you and Pablo is something you only fully understand in these years. Pablo has always been emotional. His generosity is emotional. His violence is emotional. His war against the state is personal in a way that has nothing to do with strategy. He cannot separate himself from what he wants. You have always been able to make that separation. It is your greatest professional asset. It is also, quietly, why you are going to survive him. You begin making preparations in 1992. Small ones, unhurried, a different name, a city where nobody knows your face, a modest apartment in Cali with a landlord who doesn't ask questions. You do this the same way you do everything methodically, without announcing it, without drama. Pablo calls on December 1st, 1993. You can hear in his voice that he believes the situation is still recoverable. He has been a fugitive for over a year. His network is informants and ghosts. Los Pepes and the search block have dismantled almost everything he built. He is operating from a single room with 3 men, and he is still absolutely certain. He has a new plan. He always has a new plan. You listen to the phone ring. You count the rings. You do not pick up. He is dead by the following afternoon, December 2nd, 1993. A rooftop in Los Olivos. A single bullet. 44 years old, barefoot, photographed on a roof by men who cannot hide how happy they are. The images are everywhere within hours. You see them on a television, in a bar in Cali. You finish your beer. You leave a slightly larger tip than necessary, a habit you've never been able to explain. You walk out into the afternoon heat. You don't look back at the screen. There is nothing on that screen that belongs to you anymore. They never find you. Not because you are untouchable, because you are unremarkable. You have spent a lifetime perfecting the art of being no one, and when the moment comes to disappear completely, you are already practiced. Valentina is 10 when Pablo dies. She grows up in Cali, knowing nothing of what her father was. In 2001, she graduates and becomes a school teacher. You sit in the back row in a gray suit. When she finds you and holds you after the ceremony, she smells like chalk dust and shampoo and the clean life you quietly built her out of everything you destroyed to make it possible. A gray suit, a back row, a daughter who trusts you completely and has no idea why that trust cost what it did. This is what survival looks like, not the escape, not the money. Just a man sitting very still, carrying something that has a name and no bottom, and that he has accepted will never leave. You made it out. Most don't. Subscribe to Unlived Life because the rest of these stories don't end this quietly.